Hearties. Welcome to Hearties, the Valley Voice editorial. And this is post season 11. And we are here with others to talk about this. So I'm Dawn Bateman from North Carolina.
And I'm Jen Young from Seattle.
I'm Marg Stark from San Diego, California. And we have a special guest with us today, all the way from, is it Brisbane, Australia?
Yes.
Karen, thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here. An Aussie in the house.
That's right. All right. I love it.
Am I right that Australia the only country that sees it, other than Canada, that sees it at the exact same time as the US? Because everybody else seems delayed.
You aired on the Sunday, we aired on the Friday, the following Friday. And I think New Zealand gets it the week after you. So New Zealand is pretty close too.
Okay.
They're wrapping up, I think. I saw that. Yeah. So how did you become a Heartie?
By accident. I was sitting watching the TV one January 2019, and I was flicking through Netflix and I'd seen the show and I thought, no. And then I thought, oh, I'll give it a crack. And I watched it, and I've got to say, I watched it for about 8 months nonstop. I would just keep repeating it and repeating it. We only had four seasons. And then in the February on Netflix, season 5 dropped. So I watched season 1 to season 5 through the week. And then on the weekend, I would catch up on different other shows that I liked. And then I would start again from the start and watch it through. And then I seen the reunion, HFR5, and I applied and I got picked. So I was very excited.
So your first one was HFR5.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. And you're going again this year. We're excited.
Yes, so am I.
Oh my goodness. And you've made so many Heartie friends.
I have, yes. It's been
all around the world. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's
and
so cool.
Like we meet up, we message each other when you announce a new HFR, and we'll message each other and say, have you registered? Are you going to register? And then it's like, did you get in? Did you get in? So yes, there's quite a few going again this year that I've seen. One's asked me to take her face on a stick. So you see me walking around.
That once before?
I did it in Hope Valley Days when we just had the one day.
I remember that. Yeah.
In 2022, I took my other fellow Aussie Hearties that were with me in 2019 on a stick.
So great.
That's funny. Did you go for your HFR, your first one, alone, or did you have another Heartie friend
alone
joining you?
Yeah, last year was the first time I traveled. I took a friend, but every other time I've been on my own.
Oh, I love that. So then you met everyone, and then now you have a network of people to enjoy with in Vancouver.
Definitely, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to dig in, and we can't wait to hear Karen's thoughts. Tell us what you thought about season 11. What were your favorite things? What do you think? What were like your hits and misses? What didn't go off for you?
Didn't go off. I didn't particularly like not that it was a miss, but the Mr. Higgins storyline.
Okay.
I didn't. It had to be, I think, resolved from back in season 4 because it was still sort of something that was lingering there. And I think you mentioned when you were talking to Brian and Lindsay that in today's society, it had to be addressed. So whilst I didn't like it, I think it had to be there. But the only other thing that I didn't really get my head around was Anna coming back. She wasn't, I mean, it was great to see Anna, but she was there for such a short time and then gone. It was like she wasn't even going to say goodbye. She was at the coach station, and Elizabeth just happened to see her and went over and said, Anna, you're leaving. And that was it. So I didn't quite understand the whole purpose of Anna coming back, apart from just allowing us Hearties to see her again.
Got it. Overall, did you like the season? Were you a fan?
I loved it.
Okay. Tell us what you loved.
What wasn't there to love? Elizabeth and Nathan. I'm glad that it was like a slow burn, but I'm glad they got their final kiss at the end. I liked Mike and May. I read on some of the comments that I read one comment saying that they got married too quick. They should still be getting to know each other. But they've known each other since what, season 7 did May come in? Season 8? So they've known each other for that long, but it was so good to see Mike in a relationship and not be the one in the background all the time. He's been there since season 1. So yeah, give him his 5 minutes of glory. I've got it all on my list actually.
Oh, look at you.
His mum and his sisters. His mother's so sweet. She's been in a lot of Hallmark stuff, but his mother's so sweet and like mild and meek. And then you've got Maisie, who is like boom, and she's just, for one of the better words,
sister for sure.
She's a ball breaker. She is just, she just punches it the way it is, and she doesn't care.
Great term.
Yes, I liked Bill and Rosemary's relationship. Bill's always been quite stuffy. I love Bill, but he's always quite stuffy and stoic, and that's Bill. See him with Rosemary, and he always used to like brush Rosemary off, like her intuitions and all the rest of it, and he would sort of brush her off. But this season, to see those two have a working relationship, I thought that was very good, and they sort of played off each other very well. Faith and Lily, I love Lily. She's so cute, and when she speaks so articulate. It's so, all the words are pronounced so perfect, and she is just so cute. And Auntie Faith, I thought that was very cute. The other one I liked as well was not so much the storyline. I like the storyline of Joseph's brother coming back, Jacob. But what I really liked, one particular scene, Joseph's sitting on the swing, and Henry walks past, and they sit and have a chat. And Henry asks him if he's apologized, and he says, "Well, I don't know what I'm apologizing for." And Henry says, "Well, does it matter?" Basically, I don't know the word for word, but he basically says, "Does it matter? You hurt him, so the fact that you hurt him should be enough for you to want to apologize." I thought that was very wise words coming from Henry.
So profound, so stunning.
Yeah. Then, of course, the whole Jeanette and Kashmir Shaw. I mean, that was brilliant. Never would have seen that coming. I knew there was something about her. She was just too slimy in my book.
She just went into the down.
And the way she had to go out of her way to introduce herself to Elizabeth, it was like she wanted to cause a bit of a stir.
Of course. Yeah.
Elizabeth just sort of brushed it off the shoulders and said, "Hello, lovely to meet you."
Teflon. She was Teflon, totally.
Yeah. Wow.
And the last thing I really stuck on was that cliffhanger. Hargraves coming in and saying it's reference your late husband. I'm like, whoa. And I thought the credits are going to come up now, and they did. And I was so disappointed. Yeah,
it was dramatic.
Yes, and that's the things that have sort of stuck in me from season 11.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's good. That's a good list.
Very good list. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm sure you have a great list, so it's hard to top that. But do you guys have any thoughts about what she said?
I don't have a hard list, but I love for this season 11, the stories that we've never explored. So the mystery throughout 12 episodes, and it was stitched together in a way that it was just like, sometimes it was crescendo, sometimes it was just kind of sloping. It was just, I think the intrigue of that storyline was really good. I mean, the Lucas, you think about if I had to deal with what he had to deal with emotional, with the injury and all of those things that he had to deal with throughout the episodes, you can find ways or why he was so angry at the pinnacle of where he was talking about, and I think he's still kind of struggling after the season finale, because there was not a lot of resolution for him. So I think I'm really looking forward for that. But I love the whole thing for that, for season 11. And the other thing is with season 11 was the Bill and Rosemary pairing. I mean, that was genius. Whoever
So
thought
good.
about that, that was genius. I mean, that was between the uh, comedy, yes, of course, but there's some serious stuff there. And then, and Karen, you talked about Henry and Joseph. I mean, those are the moments that, because they have a real life friendship, and then I see it in screen, I'm just like, oh, I love that, you know, kind of chemistry between those two characters. As we've seen, even season 9, season 10, there's so many great moments for that. But to me, those are the things that just screamed about season 11, that the things that we've never seen, you know, what, 10 seasons before. So that's
Jen,
mine.
what about you?
I loved, well, first of all, season 11 was packed. Like, I mean, when you talk
was.
about,
It
Like,
you
was.
know, Lucas
Sure.
being
So much,
injured,
you
I was
know.
like, was that, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes, that was this season, you know? It's crazy to think, I mean, just from Lucas being shot all the way to Elizabeth and Nathan having their first kiss. Like, so much happened in between all of that. I loved seeing Highland getting older and having so much more opportunity for dialogue.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
the kids are cute, but when they can start to really dig in and have some real interaction, it's super fun to watch. And then I also, well, I always love the Canfields, so
Yeah.
all of that was anything to do with them just kind of pulled on my heartstrings a little bit. And the part where Elizabeth was telling Angela about the school off in
Yes.
Hamilton, and Minnie was like, oh, you know, I felt that because I am the mom of a child who will be graduating this next school year. And I'm like, oh yes, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
Oh, it hit you
then-
personally.
Oh yeah, totally. And then of course I loved the throwbacks, right? To other bringing Tom back, bringing Rosaline back, and bringing
Yeah.
Anna back, just to, you know, people always ask, oh, whatever happened to whatever, and seeing them was great. So
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, as we described when we met with Lindsay and Brian in the Heart to Hearties, it did seem to fulfill so many of our wish list items. It really was incredible. I guess my favorite things are like are a little offbeat. Of course, you know, I think that they delivered a slow burn, but to me it was a very believable slow burn. I wasn't so crazy about the first part of the season where there was still the little bit of tensions with Lucas and all that stuff. But when you bring in first the Higgins storyline, then Tom coming to town, then the stuff with Allie, you know, wanting to find her biological father, like all of that to me, like, you know, they're trying to create tension in this, you know, in this series. But to me, it contributed to the slow burn in a very realistic fashion. And so I think by the time we got there, the stakes were so high for the, you know, declaration of love and the kiss. And I think they completely delivered.
Yeah, but the evolution of it, it's not even
Yeah.
a slow burn. It was all of
No.
the hurdles going
Right.
into that particular
Yeah.
situation. So yeah.
Yeah, and not just your classic Hallmark, you know, miscue, you know, the typical interferences, which we certainly got.
Right.
But I thought I thought the execution of the season, to think that we are in the 11th season and that this creative team is so brilliant And I just felt like they gave the actors and the whole creative team so much to work with, so many things they hadn't done before. Everybody just like it just brought it to a new level. I think Pascal had a phenomenal season. Chris McNally had a phenomenal season. Kevin, Jada. I mean, it's just on and on and on. I think Viv. I think Andrea, like it just the list goes on. And the cinematographer, Andrew,
Oh, I love it. Yes, that is part of what I love of this for this season, because we've seen so many shots that we're kind of used to the
Hope
story
Valley,
and things
yeah.
like that. But this was not like we've ever seen before, and I think that's what when I talk about the things that we've never seen before, that's part of it. The cinematography. You're right, definitely for that. I mean, that was
Yeah,
so
I just
good.
think they gave the creative team so much to work with, and it's exciting to me when we talk to Pascal and she says it never gets old for me. I love this character. That's what you want, is you want a truly satisfied and happy team of people going there and getting an opportunity. And I felt like this season was a showrunner that arrives always has, what has come before. And obviously, this team has honored what has come before in every way, shape, and form. I mean, they're so true to what the Hearties want. They really have their finger on the pulse of that. But I felt like it was a clean slate season for Lindsay and her team. Like they could now, really plot new direction. And I think they did that in a just an extraordinary fashion.
So what about your misses?
Okay, so it's interesting that Karen brought up she brought up Mike and May. And so for me, and this is really Jeanette Stevens actually brought this to my attention first, so I will credit her, but I think it was a missed opportunity to have May not address more of her emotional baggage from the Jeffrey relationship. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see them now catch up with that, because we know that there was a reason why they had to rush their wedding. It made perfect sense that she wanted her brother to be there. But I think now there's going to be a little work that they're going to have to do now that they're married, because that very brief conversation that they had about it probably wasn't enough to really resolve things. And it's okay. I mean, we all come to marriage with baggage, or to our relationships. We all have to work those things out, that's what unconditional love is. So, it's not that they can't do it now, but I did feel like there's more to cover there. So that for me was a bit of a miss. What are your guys' thoughts? What might have been a miss for you?
Go ahead, Jen. Yeah, I saw
No, go for it.
No, I don't know that was and I'm with you, Karen, about the Anna and the Higgins, but yet that storyline had to be addressed. And I think because of it was her previous student, she's like a mama bear, so I understood it. Oh, and as they were doing, but yes, it was almost too short. You addressed it. It was like hit and go. But yeah, but I don't know that it's like a miss. But those are the moments like yeah, I understand.
And
But
more of it there may have been more that just ended up on the cutting room floor.
Definitely. Yeah.
Felt very similar about the Anna episode. I loved it. I thought it was super relevant to When Calls the Heart's always been really good about being relevant to things that are happening now. And I thought it was really good, but yeah, like I thought it was rushed. I thought it kind of came out of left field, and it was something that could have gone for a couple of episodes, and it kind of got hallmarked, like it was tied up with a pretty little bow at the end, and that was it. But it was good. I mean, what was there was great. So I echo what you say. It wasn't a miss, but it was like I would have loved a little more.
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I hope we get more music. I just absolutely
Oh,
love the
yes.
choir and the
good.
singing this year. It was just really special. I don't know. I have a soft place in my heart for that scene where Bill Avery comes and gives Highland the pony and has to tell Elizabeth.
Yeah.
You know,
I
there's so many things. It's like you
So
can't
good.
even capture
I
what we are.
love Jack Wagner. I think he's so comedically gifted. He's such a curmudgeon, and just to see his little, it was just, I just loved the pacing of it. Everything about that scene, I absolutely thought. And I actually had that situation. We had a good family friend who tried to give me a horse. We lived in the city, like, and like literally like told me as a young, like adolescent that he was giving me a horse in front of my parents. I mean, so that just cracked me up. I love Pal the Pony. I loved seeing Highland. And of course all the classroom scenes too this year I thought were such a gift to us, the Toby moments and yeah. So
Well, and
anyway,
I think Hearties are the kind of constant has always been the Hearties want to see more classroom. They want to see more kids. And so those are always sweet. But going back to Bill and the pony, I think it's relatable. Maybe not with a pony, but I think everybody, either as a kid or as a parent, has had someone who's like, so I did this, and and just the part where he's like, I was just going to look.
Yes, I was going to say that.
I wasn't even going to get it. Like,
we have all gone to the shelter just with the
Yes.
intent to look and come home with
Right?
the dog. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so relatable.
Hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah.
All right. Anything to add before we move on to Heartie's wish lists? So
There's a lot of wish list.
yeah, indeed. So Lindsay invited the Hearties in response to us sharing how many of the wishes that they had fulfilled this season. She essentially just said, like, we're writing, let us know what you want to see, what else. And we have Hearties in that room. I mean, Allie Devereaux is like our advocate, she clearly is a Heartie through and through, and I think she speaks our voice. But of course, our writers they're very active on social media. They see what we want. So what did you all see among the wish list? What were things that were interesting to you or that struck you?
I'm like, I just want to do a baseline of what we got from engagement about all of, between the YouTube comments and Facebook, and I know that maybe with Instagram, inundated. People are passionate. They are wanting to have their stories told. And, so I just wanted to say, Hearties, I'm so glad that you are engaging with us and things like that. So it was almost overwhelming.
Gangbusters. Yeah, it was gangbusters.
It was gangbusters. So thank you so much for that. But that was, so many comments.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting about how people interpret, what they are looking for. That's, it's always interesting for me for that one.
It made me think about, and this is going to tell my age, like when the Sears Christmas wish book came out.
Oh no!
And like you would just go, and I would, and you would circle all of the things.
Oh
you
yes,
wanted all of the things for Christmas. Hearties want all of the things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Christmas and funny that you should mention Christmas because that's
because they want a Christmas episode.
They want a Christmas
Absolutely.
episode.
Yep.
We don't have Sears in Australia, but our department stores like Kmart and Target and a few other ones, they will bring out a Christmas catalogue, and it comes out in July. So my two boys used to get the catalogue and circle
really
everything that they wanted.
Love it.
Yeah, July. They have their big sales in July, their Christmas sales.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Everyone goes and puts all their stuff on lay-by, and my two would go through and circle everything that they wanted. Lucky it's only two boys, so it was only one group of pages. I didn't have to go through all the boys and girls pages.
Can you imagine if we did a publication to send out to all Hearties, and then they had to go
Good.
to
It's a good
all
idea.
the pages and, circle every, and I think there's probably 2 or 3 pages that would be, most popular.
There would be a
Oh, well.
section this thick on weddings, babies,
Yes.
Exactly.
yeah,
Check,
romantic
check.
scenes, right? Yeah. Okay.
One of the ones that I thought was fascinating, and this one came from Facebook, was, and I don't remember who it was, so I'm sorry, but they wanted to see Nathan go to Hamilton to meet Elizabeth's parents. And I
Yes,
was
I
like,
see that one.
oh, that would be
I
interesting.
also saw a couple people say they wanted to see Nathan go to visit Jack's grave, which
Yeah.
that was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Like that could be a really very touching scene, I could imagine. Yeah.
You said Nathan to go to Jack's
Mhm.
grave?
Yes.
Okay.
Like Mountie to Mountie,
yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Sort of like, I think the ones that I read, they wanted Nathan to go to the grave, to Jack's grave, to sort of get it off his chest and relieve himself of his guilt of
Oh,
what he feels
interesting. Okay.
of
wow.
Jack having to replace Nathan. So
Okay.
going and sort of getting rid of that baby
Wow.
and then starting that was one of the
About
ones that I read.
drama.
Seriously.
word, that's-
Yeah.
Full on for that.
People seem pretty excited about the prospect. We did hear that, that Lucas is going to be spending time in Capital City. And we did hear, I think, both from Sarah Maberly and from Lindsay, or no, maybe it's from Brian, that they will be having, some sets of Capital City.
They're expanding their sets at Capital City.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what else? Did you see anything else for Lucas? I can't imagine what they want for Lucas.
I don't remember. I mean, it's most of the comments are about our
I mean, they want Lucas, of course, to have a love in his life, and it looks like,
They want a love interest. And,
yeah. Well, we
a continuation kind of just he had such a meaty part. I mean, just so emotionally heavy, and back when, it was a long time ago, when we interviewed him for Heart to Hearties, he was talking about how he was really excited for that, and it really stretched him, and he was phenomenal.
It was a good role, truly.
So good.
It was. I mean, just an amazing opportunity for him.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking about the wish list that it was always about Nathan Elizabeth, and a lot of
so let's talk about Nathan Elizabeth. What is it that people want to see for Nathan Elizabeth?
Everything.
A ring, a wedding, and babies.
Babies.
And not only one baby, we have to have twins.
No, that was plural.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Well, and if they have the opportunity, triplets. I mean,
quadruplets. Let's just go quints. Yeah,
Shoot for the moon.
More babies. Shoot for
all
the moon.
babies, all babies.
Yeah. Right. And not only do they want it next season.
Yeah.
They want it like all those things to happen.
They just kissed.
Yeah. So at a certain point, I do think it began to feel as though there was a campaign going on among the comments, because not only were they providing their wish list, they were providing the 7
scenarios
of the reasons why they needed it next season. It's like, even to the point of saying, I'm getting older, like I want to see Elizabeth married before I die, and it's like, okay, well, we're giving you something to live for.
We're also providing scenarios on how Nathan could propose to Elizabeth, and where he could take
I didn't see those.
I read a few of those too. One was he would take her to the land that Jack had and started to build, and propose to her there and say, this is where we're going to build our life, on this land, and yada yada. So
it had to involve the land. I'm telling you, it had to involve the land, because they are Hearties are obsessed with what happened to Jack's land. It's so interesting.
And the house that he started to build. I mean, he bought, not that it's enough to build a house, but he bought a cart or a trailer, whatever you call it, of timber, but did nothing with it.
Yeah, well,
So
I
is
think
that timber
I
still
think you
sitting on the
kind of
land?
presume that when someone passes on, that something happens with the timber. I don't know that I've really
Yeah.
gone that far, but
He
yeah,
probably, made sure that it was recycled and
yeah.
Probably,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess I do see the
donated it
whole,
to
the desire for
church.
the blended family, and they, hearing about those graduations, people start to get worried. Allie's getting older, she's going to leave for college, they won't get to see it. But I mean, we're already seeing it. We're already seeing Allie and little Jack together. So
Yes.
I'm not sure what the fear is that they're not going to get to see that, because it's clear we are going to get to see that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, unless we don't know what Hargraves has up
Yeah.
his sleeves, but presumably this relationship is going to continue and we're going to see more.
Well,
So,
they've been really, verbal about that one. So it's not
yeah.
something that
Yeah.
is.
Is there anything else fascinating to you on the wish list, you guys?
A lot of them wanted Tom to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
Faith.
Yes, a
Wanted
lot
him to come back
wanted
and have a
Tom.
relationship with Faith. Don't know if I see him with Faith, but Tom's a type of person that trouble follows him. He doesn't mean to get into trouble, but whatever adventure he's on, he gets into trouble. It's trouble follows him. It sticks to him like glue. He's just one of those characters.
Yeah. So I think it interesting because all the wish lists that I've seen, I'm like, and when I compare like with season 11, the things that I love that were never part of the story until that season, that was not part of any wish list at all. I mean, it was just like,
Right.
there's not a lot of more mystery, more, maybe there was more but Bill and Rosemary. I think I saw 2 or 3 of those.
Definitely. Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, it's just like, the things that really elevated the story,
Mhm.
throughout the whole season. Yeah, there's just, really, really, about the couple versus
Yeah.
the story, the ensemble cast. So that was interesting for, just to go through and, but I'm glad that people are passionate. I think that's great.
I think it really speaks to kind of everybody who's involved with the writers, all of the people that, the things that we were hoping for season 11 weren't all necessarily the things, like you said, that stuck out. I think it just really speaks to they know what, maybe not necessarily what we want, but they know, and I don't want to say what we need necessarily, but they know how to just really grab us and pull us in.
Right.
And
Yes.
yeah, and just keep us coming back. And that was kind of the other thing is people just want more. They want more Henry, they want more Canfields, they want more Flomo, they want Christmas, they want 20 episodes, they just want more.
Right. Right.
Can't argue with that.
Talk about a compliment for the writers, the producers. I mean, people that are working for this show, knowing that people are just more,
clamoring for it. Yeah.
After 11 seasons, and we still have that
amazing
kind of passion.
Yes.
Love that.
I like the way they've always kept, even though Florence is now married to Ned, they keep her and Molly together. There was a few scenes that I've seen throughout episode 11. One was the notice board when Bernard Montague was walking towards them, and it was the 3 of them there with their arms crossed saying, "Why are you back in town?" The other one I noticed was in the last episode, Nathan and Elizabeth are standing there and they're sort of holding hands and they're looking at each other, and Florence, Molly and Ned are standing there, and they sort of, Florence goes, "Oh, look," and they all turn and look at Nathan and Elizabeth. I think it's great that even though Florence is married, they've still got that strong bond and friendship between her and Molly, and they've just included Ned in it. He just gets dragged along with the 2 of them.
I love them. I always say I want to go and have Florence and Ned. I want to, go with them to their home and see what that interaction is out of the mercantile. I would love to see that.
But as every Heartie keeps asking, where do all these people live?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's always a mystery. Always a mystery.
All right, well, let's move into talking about guesses, what your guesses might be for the upcoming season, which we saw Erin's plane selfie
I
today.
know, just today.
Yes.
So
Wow, so it's
it's
happening.
It's happening. I think what are you all guessing will occur in season 12? Let's start with the obvious ones. Okay, so if you had to put a number on it, attach a number to it, a percentage, what do you think the percentage chance that we're going to see Nathan and Elizabeth? Well, we'll start with having a baby. Will they have a baby in season 12? What's your percentage? I give it 0%.
-2.
Yep, 0.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
a
In
chance.
between 0 and -2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And why? Okay. All right. So let's go to marriage. Do you think a wedding, what is your percentage chance that a wedding will occur in season 12? Based on our history in Hope
I was going
Valley.
to say,
Less
based
than
on
5.
the precedence of When Calls the Heart for everything,
Every other show on television.
I'm saying not for season
All
12.
right, give me
I
a
think
percentage. You
for
say a
the-
0 percentage for season
0, -12.
Wow, okay.
0.
Karen, what's your thought?
No, I can't see it. Like you said, going on past history, I can't see there being a marriage. Not. They
Okay.
might have an engagement, but not a marriage, I don't think. But
Jen, you're also in that camp? 0?
Yeah, I mean, I'd give you maybe 5%, but I don't think so.
Ooh, you're
That's
betting.
on a very
Wow.
optimistic day.
I was going to say 2%.
Yeah. I don't
I
think it's gonna
agree.
happen.
I'm at 0%. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Proposal. What is the chance that we're going to get a proposal in season 12? Nathan proposing to Elizabeth by the end of season 12.
Is it a cliffhanger?
Or at any point in season 12.
Yeah.
I was
Is
gonna
it the
say,
cliffhanger with the ring and
I
chain?
would say, well, we can do 2 or 3 things, but engagement probably.
Okay, percentage. I'm holding you
Okay,
to it.
so I'm saying 90% at the end of the season. So episode 10, 11, or 12.
90% is high.
That's high.
Okay, wow. Okay, Karen.
I reckon around about 60%. I reckon
Okay.
there'll be a proposal, whether it will be at the end, but I think it will be in the second half of the season because they still need to sort of build on the relationship. Yes, they've known each other since season 6, but they haven't known each other as a couple.
I'm so glad you said that because
Yes.
that was a big part of it was people kept saying they've known each other for 5 years or whatever, 6 years, and it's like, but they've just started having a romantic relationship. Like, I don't understand. I guess I don't get that. Like, why they don't want to see that. Like, to me, that's
It's like
That's some of the best
so-
parts.
that's the
it's
one of
just
the
'cause
best
two people are
parts.
friends, just because 2 people have been friends for a long time
Yeah,
and they have had feelings, it's like, well, once you get them, that's it, let's just move on. But
yeah,
being a friend with someone is different to being in a relationship with someone.
yeah.
Mhm.
I suspect there's a little bit of let's lock it down fever. I think there is always the fear
Good
on
description.
this show that something could happen, that the actor could leave, or that that the writers could go in a different direction. And so I think what could be fueling some of this urgency is a sense of, we don't want anything to mess with this. We find, in our
Yeah.
eyes, we finally got it right. I'm Team Hope Valley. I just want everyone to thrive and be happy. But you know what I'm saying is I think there's a certain contingent that are like, let's lock this down so that nothing can change. And it's like,
Yeah,
on a TV show, everything can change no matter
Yep.
when.
yeah.
And so
Well, I
anyway,
think we've seen that in Hope Valley.
indeed we have.
Definitely.
Indeed we have.
So-
All right. So Jen, did I already cover your percentage?
No,
Okay.
I'm stuck on this percentage thing. I don't know. I'm thinking if it happens, it's definitely in the last
No question. Yeah.
way end.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say oh, I don't know, like 40%.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you
You
might
guys-
have at least
that's
sat on the
really
fence and
low.
gone 50.
Oh
I,
my
I'm,
do.
I
Well,
was,
it was
I'm
so-
50-50. I'm right there with
Yeah.
you. 50-50,
Wow.
Scott. Yeah.
I'm totally
It was a
convinced it's gonna
slow
be.
burn for 11. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
see them
Yeah, that's
picking up and
interesting.
running.
Because well, the thing is, they just kissed, and if we don't, I think they said something about, we're not really doing a time jump at all.
No jump. Yeah.
The season
Which
12.
I
So
don't know how we got to talk about that, how that's going to work because
Yeah,
the kids are
exactly.
going to
So
be
it's just like,
significantly older.
yeah, so they will have more hurdles and things like that, beginning to, cement their whole relationship. But the idea of 40%, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
but there's a lot of big things that are going to be happening. I mean,
Of
like,
course.
I'm
Of
assuming
course.
Allie's graduating next year.
No, I totally.
Along
thinking
with
the
a
same
couple of
thing,
other
Jen.
kids. So
Yeah.
You're
like, there's
assuming
a lot.
Allie's graduating next year because we only heard
Right. I'm
talk
assuming
of Emily and
Angela.
Angela, I think Allie's in there with him.
I
Oh,
agree with
I
you,
guess I've
because-
always assumed, I don't know, some Heartie that's much smarter than me is going to correct me.
But Ali was
Um,
10. Ali was
what?
10 when she came to Hope Valley, wasn't she? Well, that's now,
yeah.
she'll be 16 this year. So is 16 not the age that the kids
Yeah.
historically graduate from Hope
Mhm.
Jack Thornton School?
Mhm.
well, Lindsay
I
said they
agree
had
with
to
you.
do a lot of math to figure out who was graduating. So yeah. Okay, so I think yours was the lowest percentage. I do think
Mhm.
they're going to introduce some major dramatic storylines that are going to delay it. But I also think we're going to really enjoy the romance of it.
Yeah, the journey. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
We don't have to pick a percentage because they've already told us that Lucas is going to have a love interest.
Yeah.
Season. They've already confirmed that that's the case. And they've confirmed that he's going to be spending more time in Capital City. I am guessing that this whole development of the possibility of Lee serving with him, I'm excited for the strengthening of that friendship and to see Henry and Lee, and that just excites me. The idea of
Me too. Me too.
As the
That
cabinet.
whole dynamic of, especially with, and then interesting about even Hickam in there, but I think the core would be Lucas and Henry and Lee. And I don't know what the story will be, but I'm all up for it. I mean,
too.
that would be, I'm really looking forward to how they kind of manipulate that.
Yeah. Karen, anything that you're predicting or guessing is going to happen in season 12?
Well, I had a couple of things written down. In the chat with Brian and Lindsay, they mentioned Jed.
Yeah, that was
There's going to be a
interesting.
storyline with Jed. Now, I'm wondering if his storyline, it could be a love interest, but I really can't see unless they bring someone new in who they would team Jed up with. I mean, him and Molly just don't gel together in my eyes. But I'm wondering if they're gonna give him a new business adventure or whatever with the soil to do with, the soil that Lee put him onto to get rid of the groundhogs. I wonder if I'm guessing that maybe Jed's storyline will be along the lines of that.
So Jed is Laura's father.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if that means we'll get a throwback from Laura.
right.
Yes.
Janaea could come back.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah. Interesting.
And I had another big guess. A lot of Hearties might not like this, but it's to do with Jack. And this is where it will incorporate a few people. So Hargraves has come and said it's to do with
Tell us.
your husband. So I'm thinking that it was discovered that Jack was murdered, that it wasn't an accident. Some Hearties have said that it was Nathan that was supposed to get killed, and whoever did it didn't know they'd swap. But I'm guessing that Jack was murdered, and as the investigation goes on, and Rosemary and Bill actually do the investigation, they get involved in it. But it's discovered that it was Nate Tolliver from back in season 1.
Okay.
Remember Nate Tolliver?
With that one, my percentage for the other one is like 20%.
No, No, it's so good. It is
You just
so
totally full circled
good.
everything.
Yeah.
so good. So
boy.
you're saying yes, that is so good.
Oh,
So good.
I'm sort of
oh my
speechless.
word. I was gonna say,
But you're
see-
saying the percentage of the proposal occurring with that dramatic storyline goes way down.
way down, way down. Yeah, yeah. Oh my word. Can you
So,
imagine? Can
I
you
mean, we
imagine?
haven't had a murder on the show. I know. Well, we've had one murder, and that was poor old Silas Ramsey when he on the stagecoach. But
Right.
you know, it's just I guess it's out there. But hey,
I love it though.
So
I
you
mean,
have to
come
think about
on.
what's going to motivate Rosemary and Bill to join up again. Like, they were clearly, I mean, obviously Rosemary does not like to be scooped, and Bill,
Yeah.
with his forensic whatever, he's always been whatever. But it really was the driving force behind this was saving their friend Lucas. And so it has to be something that pulls at their heartstrings, because I believe
Right.
Lindsay confirmed that there would be, I think she said there would be more Rosemary, and she
Mhm.
certainly was receptive to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, I think that
And
is
Jack would certainly draw at their heartstrings.
oh my gosh, good for you, Karen.
Karen,
Word.
wow, that is
Oh, my word. I
huge.
mean,
Okay. Anybody else?
yeah, I
Guesses?
can't top that.
No, I think she just tied it up with a bow right there.
Like I
Okay, well, I
can't.
have a tiny one. I have a really tiny one that I've heard no one comment on this, and that is that at the, right before the wedding, during the whole procession with Mike and May, we learned that Mike got the brother, was it Bo? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Bo out of his contract. So I haven't seen a single word about that now does that mean he's not in the Merchant Marines anymore and he could come to Hope Valley, like they could spend more time together? Like that would make me really happy that she had a little more family around.
Yeah.
And although it's certainly be interesting to have your brother come stay with you when you're a newlywed, that would be wherever it is they live. We don't know. But
is there a row house ready to?
are they live above the saloon? I don't know. People think they're going to live above the saloon, so I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they said they were going to live above. No, that's the Canfields live above the cafe now.
Yeah.
Doesn't Faith and Lily live above the cafe? The Canfields live in a row
Yes.
house.
They live in the house.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Correct.
So we got too many people and not enough places to put them.
I
No,
know.
we do. What happened to the apartment above where Dottie used to live, and where Elizabeth went when she first came? Does anyone
Well, she
live
burned
there?
the teacherage down, didn't she?
Yeah, but then isn't that the same place that Dottie was living in, where Jessie went and fixed her floorboards and found the money?
Right.
Oh,
That's true.
boy,
Oh,
you are
right,
good.
yes. Well, yes. Good job. Oh my word. That
Good.
is, that is a lot of retro in seasons. Good
But
for
there's
you.
lots of
Yeah,
houses that we
So,
haven't
I mean,
seen
I think we're going to see Lily call Faith mom, I would
Yes.
imagine.
Oh,
I think that's going to
yeah.
be quite a moment. And maybe there'll be, I don't know if we'll move towards a formal adoption or whether that's even necessary, but and I kind of wonder if there'll be a medical issue for her to deal with this year, because it's been a little while. I mean, she did have Bill with his stuff, but it could be, it could be some more of that.
Yeah.
What about the Canfields? Can you imagine what might happen for them? Well, obviously this is going to be a big story if she's graduating.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How they go forward without her, or just making sure that I was thinking about like Little House on the Prairie, as they had to release Mary into the blind school scenario. So
Well,
I
there's
don't
a whole lot of
Thought about
emotion
that
that would
parallel.
be. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Yes, Minnie's really going to have. That's going to be something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really
And I'm still thinking about, Henry and Joseph. I mean, if Henry's in Capital City, I mean, how they will tie in to Hope Valley, that's the swing of
Yeah.
I don't have any creative juices to understand what they will kind of contrive to have them in Capital City and in Hope Valley. So it'll be an interesting story, whatever it is. But
And how will we get our fix of
anticipating.
Henry sitting in the garden and having his chats with Joseph? Where will we get our
Right.
fix from that? They're going to do it over the telephone.
Right, right. No,
Uh-huh.
you never know.
Well,
Yeah,
Ned's
you
going to
never
have to call in and say, it's Ned Yost.
know. It's Ned. Conference call.
Well, and of course, we don't know whether Fiona is going to be back. We certainly hope
Yeah.
that Kayla's going to be available, but
Yeah, there
but-
was something from Variety, was it?
Yes,
Today
yeah.
about, that's
featuring her.
Paramount Plus. Is that the new show?
Yes. What's it called? Landman? Yeah.
Landman, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, coming out this fall. It was in Vanity Fair's social media.
that's it. That's it.
So,
We
Yeah.
might
but,
get it in a year or two.
I think many Hearties, I think there's a disagreement, but many Hearties seem to want to see Lucas and Fiona get together. I've never really seen that, but I don't know where you're, does it hit you? Okay. So do you think that Lucas' love interest will be somebody that we know or brought in from the outside?
I feel like it has to be brought in.
Brought in.
So do I.
Yeah.
I do too. I think so. I think Faith at this point is focused on Lily,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to go there. So
I think he needs a fresh start, and
Yeah.
whatever,
from Capital
whoever it
City.
is.
but it's not going to be Jeanette.
No,
No,
Jeanette's going to the Slammer.
she needs
This
to.
is- She's in the
Slytherin.
clink. She's in the lockup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done and dusted.
Do you
She's
think
on
we'll see
that.
the trial for Jeanette?
Huh?
Do you think we'll see a trial
Ooh.
for Jeanette?
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
But I don't know that we'll
I don't
see.
think Hearties want to see her again.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
No, I think it would be a very small percentage that would want to see her again. Some want to see her completely redeemed and that love interest again. So you never know. Okay.
Oh, well, that's a good question. Okay, who needs to be redeemed? Because we've had the whole Henry arc. Who else?
Well, I think many people think that Hargraves is going to be it could be a dirty cop scenario. I mean, I think we thought that this season, and so that's entirely possible. But not that he is redeemable, but at least in terms of a villain, I think Hargraves makes a good candidate for a villain.
Yeah.
He just has that face, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Certainly.
But every time he's on camera, he's so resentful. I mean, he's just,
Yeah.
he has his moments for sure.
Oh, he really has sour lemons about Nathan, doesn't he?
I know. Yeah, that's not great.
I
It
wonder
doesn't
what
matter
more
Nathan
we'll
does. It's just
Yeah, I wonder what more we'll see. We definitely want to see some Mountie action, and we want to see
Right.
more with Nathan and Allie.
yes.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that we've missed?
There's just so much. I mean, you think about season 11 and how it was packed into that whole for 12 episodes. I mean, we just scratched the surface for season 12.
And the thing is there were so many examples of things that we didn't know we needed. Like we did not know we needed Lee and Faith. We did not know we needed Mike and May. We did not know we needed Bill and Rosemary.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So they're going to surprise us, which will be really wonderful. But it was really interesting. When the Heart to Hearties with Sarah Maberly, who's the production designer, will be coming out. And even on the basis of the first block, she said there were several new sets.
Yeah.
In the first block.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that included Capital City. I don't know.
No, that's.
But it sounded to me like that was separate from Capital City. So that really is interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right away in the first two episodes, we're going to see some really new things.
I mean, they're shaking it up for sure. I mean, between the writers and then, pushing to the production, can't even.
Yeah. I mean,
is it 2025 yet?
I know.
They're shaking it up, and yet they're also staying so true
to the show. Yeah, definitely.
All the callbacks and the Easter eggs and all the, even to the point of reviving costume pieces and all this stuff. It's like, seriously right now? Like, all the little callback lines. It's really cool. And then, I think faith continues to be such a through line. We had scripture, we had hymns, we had prayer, we have the classroom scene. So it's like, it still has the heart of the show is still there. And yet they're still bringing us new things, which is mind blowing. So
Yeah.
very exciting, very exciting. And it's really exciting to see the engagement too. We've seen an increase in YouTube followers even after the season. Facebook
It has been just unbelievable. Even when the show is done, people either unsubscribe with the Facebook page or,
they take a
start
break
thinking
while the show's not on the air.
it has been how many weeks after the finale? We're like at 3 weeks now. I'm like, it doesn't stop. Yeah. So between the Facebook and the YouTube channel, we've been
growing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it could be some nice little algorithm things, like Lindsay asking for the wish list. So our comments on YouTube were massive.
there's
And of course
so
that
many.
presents, then that favors the algorithm,
Yeah.
showing it to other people. But algorithm aside, the show is healthy. Hallmark is super happy with the ratings. Like, we're full steam ahead, and Karen is headed to Vancouver in
Yay.
September. And we're very
Great.
excited for that. So there you have it. Dawn, you want to close this out?
Oh, sure. Well, thank you, Hearties, to while we're talking about engagement. I mean, this is the reason why we do what we do. And we are probably wanting to, see all the things that maybe we can get some behind the scenes as they were filming. I don't know. We'll see what we have, but stay tuned. Everything we're just, whenever there's an option, we will have new guests. And we're driving to the HFR moment. So a lot of content for that as well. So thank you so much. And this is Heart to Hearties.